And hi everyone, welcome to Life Edge, because life just doesn't have to be mediocre. And joining me today is my good friend and co-host, Dr. Susan Nash. Hi Susan, how are you?
Good. Great to be here. We have a great guest. Really excited about it.
We do. And last week I was gone to London. I haven't been to London ever, so that was fun. And I missed the show with you, so that I'm looking forward to getting back in the saddle and having fun. So here we go. And we are back, and joining us, Susan, would you like to do the honors?
Yes, we have a great guest, CJ Ejimuda, and he has started out, he's combined careers, and he started out as an engineer and also as a data scientist, and has done all sorts of really interesting things with sensors and the Internet of Things, industrial Internet of Things, to collect data and use machine learning to optimize operations. And it's like, wow, CJ is the future.
Welcome, CJ.
So CJ, how did you get started?
Thank you so much, Susan and Rick. It's a pleasure, being on the show with you. I got started. So initially, I had my bachelor's in electrical engineering. So I started working, with ExxonMobil as a reservoir engineer. So over the years, based on working with data, I gained that passion to, extract more value from data. So currently with hybriData, we are roughly about 2 years now. We started off, first of all, I worked with like a couple of startups out here in Santa Monica. So currently we're excited and happy, in adding more value to the energy industry.
That's interesting. So a few weeks ago, you were in Houston and you participated in a workshop and a short course, and you showed people how to actually start putting together sensors and the coding that they needed. What were the basic pieces that they needed to be able to do that?
To be honest, the basic pieces, I think what's most important is the passion. If you have the passion to especially if you're an engineer, if you have the passion to go further, innovate, that's the key piece you need to have. And once you have that piece, I believe you can be able to, do all what I walked them through, during the workshop.
Right, and so they had to be able to, you had them do software, so they downloaded software, and then they also had hardware, so you had them bring Raspberry Pi, was that right?
Yeah.
So can you tell our audience what Raspberry Pi does?
Absolutely. So, in the world of industrial Internet of Things, there are two types of ways you can have your IoT configuration. One, it could be like an embedded device. So embedded device, you have what they call like the networking component. It could be like your Wi-Fi, it could be via Bluetooth that you're connecting the sensors to. Or it could be through like gateway devices. So the Raspberry Pi for that workshop is more like the gateway device. It being the gateway device, you can be able to network sensors into it. It could be what they call like a hub and push data to the cloud, or you can also use it for like an edge computation case. So that's what like the Raspberry Pi did for us in that workshop.
And also what's nice about Raspberry Pi, it's basically Linux, so you don't have to pay a fortune for it.
Absolutely.
Which is good.
Yes.
Yeah, they use it in robotics too, right?
Absolutely, in robotics too, you can use it in robotics. Was it like a few weeks ago? I attended like so there's this kind of competition for people building, the Mars rovers, right? So the Mars rovers that are being, yeah, that were built by NASA, right? So one of the guys that built a Mars rover had the Raspberry Pi, getting data like issuing like control commands to the motors that drove the rover. So in terms of like what it could do, it's boundless. You can use the Raspberry Pi to do like a lot of things. Even send it to Mars.
So can you use it as a beach rover there in California?
Easily, you can do that. I also had like a friend of mine who is a roboticist. And I mean, he was building like what they call like a beach comber, like he talked about it.
That's great.
Yeah, to pick up like stops, like I mean, their beach in Santa Monica Beach, not Oxnard Beach though. So,
Oh my gosh! So
yeah,
you put a medical on it, and start finding stuff.
yeah. But again, obviously, right, you need to integrate intelligence into it. So within your Raspberry Pi, I mean, already you've deployed your algorithms, your machine learning or your artificial intelligence algorithms that could say, okay, this is that, pick it. The robotic arm, picks it up and, puts it where it's meant to be.
That's cool. Now, how hard are these devices to program, and what languages are you using to program these?
To be honest with you, like I said, I alluded earlier, I think the key thing is passion, right? Passion takes you to like so many places,
Yeah.
but the big thing is that the initial try, right, is always not going to seem easy, right? But the more that passion, keeps you going, then the other part of your question, you can program with C++, Python, is what they call like Node.js, a back-end dialect of JavaScript.
Yeah.
But everything just has to depending on your application. So if you want to build like critical applications, mission critical applications, you want to think about using like a C++ application.
Sure. Okay.
If you want to do like, Python too could be used for mission critical, but depending on, how much latency the applications, that are communicating or talking to each other, I mean, requires, that's how, you decide on, which of the programming language to, go with.
Okay. That sounds good. Now, you work with hybriData is your company, correct?
Yes.
You have a slideshow. Does that talk about hybrid data and what you're doing?
Absolutely.
Well,
and even talks about like, new things we're doing now.
Well, great. Shall we get to that so we can learn a bit more?
All my pleasure.
Thank
you.
So we have.
Ready?
Yep, we're ready. That's slide 1, I think.
Yes. So great. I don't need to introduce myself anymore. You all have done the introduction already. So I put this up for the show today, RELATECASTS. Can we go to the next slide? So a little bit about us, who we are. We are hybriData. Core of what we do, I mean, mainly, first of all, we listen to our customers because we only want to satisfy their needs, regardless of, all the IoT I talked about or all the, data and artificial intelligence. If we're not satisfying our customers' needs, we don't need, implement any of the technologies. Additionally, to core of what we do is supporting the sustainable exploration, be it exploration, development, production, transportation, storage, trading of both traditional and renewable energy clients. There's a word called energy agnostic. We like to believe that we are like an energy agnostic, company. Next slide, please. Next slide. However, for every great thing, there are recipes and ingredients to success. for us, what we know, the key thing that's our ingredient to success is our people. The people we work with, the partners over the time we've been working with. Another additional thing for us is the deep energy domain expertise we have. Also, it's the data and the technology that we work with. Additionally, too, it's our proprietary algorithms. Proprietary algorithms in the sense that since we can go so low, we can actually like architect and build algorithms from the scratch. Um, Keeping beyond these other different recipes is how would you fix everything, stitch everything together, and we have a good knowledge and good feeling executing based on our domain expertise, our understanding of our customer needs, the financial part of it, the engineering, the science, and the technology part of it. Next slide, please. Why hybrid data now? Why we're here now is to help support digital transformation of like different organizations within the traditional and the renewable energy sector. Additionally, too, is the current business environment is highly competitive and the low and unpredictable price environment of like big commodities or extracting those renewable energy sources or those traditional energy sources. Next slide, please. So how do we add value at hybriData to our clients? One is that we provide them strategic competitive advisory, leveraging this different technologies I had alluded to earlier. One other thing, again, great thing is that we help businesses to position them to take full advantage of their existing resources. So not just only just introducing them to a new business or a new business opportunity, but also them leveraging the existing resources and assets. Like I alluded to, we help them generate like new business opportunities. Next slide, please. So why are we, I mean, why do we help businesses this way? It's because business models over time, they've evolved. For instance, we just have the snapshot we have on the slide there just gives us a sense of feel of, if you look at it, Elon Musk originally started SpaceX, but now he's able to like, leverage resources from SpaceX currently in building the Boring company, a new company he just spinned up, and also like Tesla. So we see that in terms of business, I mean, in terms of digital transformation, it's not just only about businesses thinking about their existing business segment, but also we can guide them towards tapping more, generating more revenues from other business processes. Next slide, please. Why also we're doing this way is instead of waiting for market turns and twists, but staying proactive. And for us, since we able to work with our clients, be it like on a low level and a high level, we can be able to advise them in such a way that they stay proactive and take advantage of new business opportunities being presented to them. Next slide, please. So as far as for hybriData, the new specialized services we're adding to other robust services we offer at hybriData is for the onshore and the offshore drilling environment is, can you take us to the next slide? Thank you. So for this new novel specialized services we're offering at hybriData, it's based on our research and development efforts at hybriData from last year with regards to the self-driving car technology and edge computing. First of all, is in the sense of we need, obviously, before you can be able to build any new solution for the energy industry, you need that domain expertise. So what we have at hybriData is domain expertise. We use different variants of filter algorithms and search algorithms being used for the self-driving car technology stuff. We also use the deep learning and reinforcement learning algorithms to be able to drive drilling intelligence. Again, now it's not just only about the algorithms. It's more again about scaling your solution. What infrastructures that could, deploy those solutions to not just only one users or one business application, but like a ton of business application. So we also have like huge amount of expertise in terms of like infrastructures that could carry out such workloads. One could be like, hey, a serverless architecture. Serverless architecture is almost like a pay-as-you-go type of architecture. You only pay for what you use. We found that favorable, like, working with clients. Um, Fusing all these different resources together, I mean, the drilling intelligence and the energy infrastructure, we are now currently able to, I mean, produce a tool called the hybriData tool pusher. What that hybriData tool pusher can do for us is, first of all, giving us like accurate drilling measurement data estimate, being able to real-time optimize drilling our well path trajectory. The core for every drill process is we've noticed over time, even in the self-driving world, is accurate accurate data, because the data you get is what you will feed into your other models, your models on the bottom line that that would provide any certain advice or inform or grant you or deliver insights to your processes. Next slide, please. As far as additional information, I won't delve more into this in the interest of time. But I plan to make the slides available so the viewers can go on and pick up more information about it. Next slide, please. So now to the energy data products, our roadmap for the energy data products. Next slide, please. So the energy data products and even the new mobile specialized services I just showed you all earlier was as a result of interactions with our clients like over time, and also for the energy data products over time when we speak to clients they tell us about like, hey, is there any way we can embed any form of machine vision or computer vision solutions to our applications? Oh, is there any way you can provide us like IIoT services? Oh, is there any way you can help us like guide, advise us on, how we can recover more reserves or, chase certain opportunities? So based on that, we are now working on like different, three different energy data products. All of them are being developed concurrently because if you look at both of them, you can actually embed the energy vision product into the hybriData energy technical advisor product. Currently, all these products are about like 75% alpha version. We're building them using like frameworks that we write only one code and we can be able to deploy the solutions on web and mobile applications. But depending on the interest or depending on the needs from our clients, it's easy for us to move it into a conversational interfaces. We expect all this to come up on stream in second quarter 2019. Next slide, please. I'll also try not to really, delve deeper into this in the interest of time. We'll provide this slide and, any questions we get from the viewers or from any interested party, we can answer more to it. Next slide, please. Likewise, too, for the energy vision, I wouldn't, delve deeper into it. But I believe like it's self-explanatory, and even at the end of my presentation, if anyone has any questions pertaining to that, I'll be more than happy to provide more information and more details. Next slide, please. And finally, too, for the hybriData IoT Agent too as well. It's just we capturing more information. We couldn't capture all, but based on the interest of time, I won't really delve further. But anyone that has any questions, the viewers or the organizers, I'll definitely I'll be happy to field questions from it. Next slide, please. All in all, we can do all this ourselves, and we're always open and happy to speak to like both local and international partners Here is my contact information, CJ at hybriData.us. That's like the best medium you can reach me at. Next slide, please. And that's all from me. Any questions, I'll be happy to field them from the viewers or the organizers.
And what we'll also do, CJ, is we'll put all your contact information and website at the bottom of the description on the video.
Absolutely.
And I have a question. I have a question. So it seems like you have many tools and many strategies for addressing a range of problems. But is the best way to start to identify the problem and look for a solution?
That's absolutely the best way to start. So like officially, hybriData has been almost like 2 years now, roughly 2 years in 2017. And for us, we just didn't want to just go with, like move with the crowd. We wanted to really understand what our customer needs are. We wanted to really, see like, hey, what size of the bucket, right, we should work on. So really, it's all these products we are currently working on is as a result of, several conversations with, clients we've consulted for, clients we've worked with. So it's always best to understand the problem and before you think about like building a solution.
Well, so here's a question. Can you work with solar energy? Because my understanding is that California is using a lot of solar and it integrates in with other sources of energy. So there might be a problem with optimizing how it integrates, they integrate together when they switch over, et cetera.
Absolutely. I mean, we can work with solar energy. So, like I alluded earlier, we're like a energy agnostic. There's a word for that. We're an energy agnostic startup. So, I didn't go so deep, to talk about what we do. So, we also do we work on like industrial facilities and commercial facilities equipment. So, it could be from what they call MEP, mechanical, electrical, commercial plumbing, and fire protection equipment. In terms of like for electrical, from your solar panel, you're pushing you're generating your power to like a transformer. You have like your substation. So depending on, the great thing about us is depending on whatever the needs of the customers or the clients we work with are, we can easily, provide them, solution. And I mean, in terms of the solar part, that's where the hybriData IIoT agent can, be most useful for.
Yeah, because I was thinking not just those huge solar farms or whatever they're called. I've seen them in like Nevada, but also in say large industrial complexes or in apartment complexes, figuring out how to make it work and save a lot of money.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one thing is this, right? The bucket size of IIoT is just boundless, of using IoT. So every solution you rightfully mentioned, an IoT, hybrid data IoT agent can be able to, easily provide, offer those services. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity from IoT, and that's why we're also based on interactions with customers. Industrial facility managers, even the technicians, being right there on the field, touching the equipment. Because even when you're building algorithms or building solutions, or something like an IoT product, you're not selling like a social product, but you also need to, as an engineer or as the architect or as a developer, it's always good to be there, hear those equipments, hear their sounds, touch them, how hot they are, hear from you. So,
now, do you think, CJ, that we are really kind of at that tipping point of kind of the IoT revolution, including AI and everything else, that we are changing the algorithms. We're finally looking at data very differently. And it sounds like between 2018 and now and moving forward, we've really jumped quite a bit from where we were. What do you think?
I believe we actually, we've really jumped, to be honest, But another great thing again is in terms of for IoT, I feel the security part has been the great part in terms of security. Now, especially for something like self-driving cars. So depending on how you look at IoT, we at hybriData, we look at IoT beyond just the normal equipment. So now, as I'm talking to all of you, right, with the cameras now, I'm actually transmitting IoT, with the camera, right? Right. So the security part is where we see that IoT is really improving, and in terms of maturity, because for us too was the market when we started hybriData wasn't as mature as it is now, because you need the stakeholders, right, to drive the market. If the stakeholders don't understand or see the value in what you're providing, so we see that it's been, it's so far so good, in terms of the security part might have been why there's been more buying, from different stakeholders, and we expect it to improve more too.
Yeah. Susan, your question?
Well, I guess it's time for our final question, right? So, CJ, in your life, what do you think it has been that has given you an edge in life?
That made you who you are.
Yes. What shaped you to make you who you are today?
I think it's family, family support. And then again, friends, I feel it's more about, family, friends, everyone I've been around, I believe in life, we're just all a product of our experiences, so for me, it's more about people I've met Susan, family, my friends, they've all shaped up, who I've been. And
well, I've noticed that, in for example, the opportunity to give a workshop, etc. You were very responsive and very professional, and so it's clear that when something is there, you give it your best, and that's I think not possible without family too. So that's an interesting point. It's possible without family, but it helps. Sorry.
The AAPG family.
Yes, that foundation.
Yes.
Well, CJ, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on and talking about what hybriData does. I think it'd be fun to have you come on in the future and maybe show examples of, if you can, of what projects you've been on, whatever is not under NDA and everything. We know how NDAs go. But it would be really nice because people hear about these things, but they don't quite always tie everything together. What does it mean? And it would be fun to see how data really can turn into so much more. And I think that's part of the fun. We haven't even talked about artificial intelligence today or AI. That's another topic that's shaping things, and it could be a lot of fun. And we wish you the best of success with hybriData and continued new clients and explorations, because it sounds like you are having fun with this.
Thank you so much, Rick. Yeah, we'll definitely, keep in touch, both of you.
Yeah.
It's been really great. And what a great interview. And thank you for preparing the presentation, too. That was very clear.
So, always my pleasure.
Yeah, and if you'd like to get a hold of CJ, we will have his information down there in the show notes, so you can feel free to contact him, visit the website, and get more information. So again, CJ, thank you for coming on. We look forward to seeing you again. Susan, as always, have a good one. And for all you people watching, we'll see you next week on Life Edge. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
And we are done. That was good.
That was really